I want to be Batman when I come out of the movie. That's what I want.
Yes.
Anyone who has not seen the movie, get off of here. Go somewhere else. Go see the movie. Go see the movie.
In 5 seconds, we're going to dig into full spoilers and tell you what's wrong with this movie. And what we liked, because it's a good movie, but you just could fix it. There's ways, right? So you have 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2,
Good, just
1,
cut
1.
to it. Just cut
Got
to
a
it.
blast!
Yeah, okay.
So on the island, remember the Eternals? There's a big Eternal hanging out the Earth. And apparently, 18 years later, everyone's like, wait a minute, maybe we should check this out. And they realize, wait a minute, Wolverine stuff, adamantium, it's there, it's inside the island. So the Japanese, the French, the Americans, everyone's fighting over who gets the adamantium. And the president, who's Mr. Thunderbolt Ross from Civil War, who was like, you guys need to stop being in Avengers because I want to control you. I was the guy who was angry at the Hulk in that Hulk movie when he looked different. And so he's the president now, and he's like, the adamantium, Japan, France, we need India. We need to come together and evenly split this up and have peace. We don't want to go to war. I don't like war. I'm trying to be a new person. I don't like war. And so the Japanese, they had adamantium from the island. It gets stolen by the wretched Sidewinder named Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. And so Gus has stolen it. This is where our new Captain America, who does not in fact have any superpowers, just has fancy armor given to him by Wakandans. He goes, oh, let me go steal back the Japanese adamantium. And even Sidewinder's like, this was sus. The buyer didn't show up. This is in the open. Why were we able to do this? Anyways, they get the adamantium. President Ross is like, Sam Wilson, you're cool. Come to the White House. He goes, I want you to do the Avengers again. He goes, I don't know about that, Chief. And then from there, his home slice, Mr. Isaiah Bradley, who does have superpowers, who should be Captain America, but that's beside the point. He is out there. He's like, I'm going to kill the president. Wah! Mind control. After the mind control happens, President's like, this was crazy. I need to go to India and steal all the adamantium. I need to go to the Indian Ocean and get the adamantium out of the Celestial. And so does Japan. Everyone goes there. They rush there. And he's like, Japanese, let's not fight. And then Japanese man's like, no, the leader, the bad guy, leaked info saying that you're the one who hired Sidewinder to steal my adamantium.
But Sidewinder, wait, no, it wasn't Sidewinder. It was
Sidewinder. I don't know why. I think it was Sidewinder.
No, who funneled the money?
No, it's the leader. The leader.
The leader is the main villain.
He sent the money through USAID.
He sent the money through USAID through the CIA and to freaking pay Sidewinder.
Yep, to steal it, and then they're like, and then he leaks it to the Japanese, like, look, President Ross funneled the money through USAID, and he's like, no, I didn't do that, the leader did, but he doesn't want to tell everyone, hey, I've got this guy I've kept in my basement that I've been juicing with friggin' brain steroids. Anyways, then once they're there fighting, 2 of the fighters go rogue because the leader's mind controlling them with the epilepsy.
One of the fighter jets when they're approaching the Celestial Island.
One of the fighter jets, so now they're all in the Indian Ocean approaching the Celestial Corpse. Indian. Anyways, Indian. Mark, you'll sense that after, right? No,
no, I'm keeping this shit in. I'm like...
Are you keeping the word Indian in?
Yeah, cause...
Okay, just... Guys, if you have sensitive little ones at home, make sure they are familiar with these topics.
I'll export a separate video for you if you want, but like I'm going like very low filter.
No, I was making a joke about Indian being a curse word that's unsuitable for children.
Oh.
that was the joke. That was the joke.
All right. Continue.
Okay. So they're in the Indian Ocean. The fighter pilots, they're brainwashed by the leader. And the leader has them go and hit the ship. And the Japanese are like, we are going to fight you, Mr. President Ross. And he's like, no, I don't want this to happen. I want to be a good guy now. And then he's like, I'm taking these pills, but I need the pills to get the money. And so he takes the pills.
Get the money to get the pills. Oh, jeez. Can I do 20%? I'll input Sam Hyde here.
He wants pills. He wants money. And so
this entire time, what is it? Freaking leader is on the president's headset, just gaslighting the shit out of him.
He's like, Mr. President, turn into a giant Hulk thing. I've been feeding you gamma pills, so you turn into a Hulk thing. You got to turn into a Hulk thing. And
you know what also doesn't make sense about that? I'm just intercepting.
Go for it.
How the hell does he just... He takes a random phone call. The president takes a random... Was it a random phone call?
Yeah,
or did he intercept?
When is the president taking random phone calls? First off, the leader hacked into his headset. That's the first thing. But then the second thing is, the leader's hacked into his headset, but the leader, he says, he's cyberbullying Mr. Ritson on his headset. Not Ritson, that wasn't friggin' Secret Invasion. Ross. He's cyberbullying him on his headset.
It's literally a situation of take the headset off.
Literally
put
log
the
off.
Phone down. Log out.
Literally log out. You know, people see the meme
Stop
of
reading the hate.
Cyberbullying.
Like, seriously.
But you could just log off, which is kind of a boomer meme. But this is literally
but it's right.
Start.
You can.
It's literally, but no, he's like,
Grr,
the leader's in his ears
grr.
like, hey, you need to turn into a Red Hulk.
Fucking...
And he could literally just be like, no. And turn it off. And just literally pull his headset back. But he doesn't. And he almost hulks out, but then Sam stops it. Then
everything's great.
Then they go back to the place, the Washington, the DC. And
his buddy Falcon is injured, and he's in the hospital. And then there's a very touching moment between Sam and JD Vance. Sebastian Stan really pulling off the congressman look.
They made Winter Soldier run for Congress. That's the excuse for why he's not here doing any of the fighting when it would have been very useful for him to be doing the fighting.
It would have been very convenient.
It also seems very, very stupid that the superheroes or any superhero ever is just doing stuff that isn't superhero stuff.
Anyways, leader comes and rage baits Sam, and he's just like... He's like, you lost. Haha, I'm in person, and you lost. And then he gets... arrested, and then at a press conference with the president is just like, aha, I'm bringing unity, and then the leader plays like audio clips proving the president was locking him in his basement, defanging him. He was a previously boiled Japanese man into the leader.
Yeah.
And then he goes berserk. He goes nuts from Berserk, and Sam comes in and they fight, and then Sam talks him down by like, but Betty loves you, and then it's all happy ending.
But Betty loves your shadow
because
the car.
And then President Ross gets arrested, and he's thrown in like what, Seagate, Blackgate,
the Raft,
Guantanamo Bay, and then yay, it's over. Over things. First off, let's talk about the characters. All right, we're gonna talk about the characters.
About the characters. You don't want to say that?
We're gonna talk about it later. That's gonna be in nitpicks.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Okay.
Characters.
First off, characters. The villain is so uninteresting. So uninteresting. Oh my god. Okay, so the leader is... What is he doing? He's just a cyberbully at this point. It's a waste of his intelligence. He does nothing super cool. He's literally replaceable with any generic villain. Like any.
Yes.
You can input any villain. It could just be some random dude. And he could do probably better than the fucking leader. Like, he's a worse Zemo. Zemo did such a better job.
It's a
and then he didn't
behind the scenes thing, which is what Zemo was.
Why did he even turn himself in at the end?
Made no sense.
It made no sense. He could have just played the audio clip.
Yeah.
That was it.
He says, I need to turn myself in so I can make President Ritson go crazy, or Ross go crazy. And you're like, well, how'd you make him go crazy? Oh, I played the audio clip. You're like, why do you have to turn yourself in to play the audio clip? You didn't. So that's Mark's point, right?
Yeah.
Mark says Harrison Bjord.
Okay. Thing is with Harrison Ford, I think carried this movie.
Fact.
Like his acting is superb. For someone who's supposed to be a complete hard ass and just evil fucking military guy, he makes you concerned, like, for him. Because he's just like an old guy trying to be good now, righting his wrongs, acting confused, being wholesome, just trying to actually care now. And what?
I read the end of Mark's note on all of his points for the Harrison Ford needs his own movie. It talks about how sincere and how beautiful it was, and the last sentence Mark puts is, also, they have to make sure his calves pop first when he transforms.
Oh, yeah. Seriously, his calves have to pop out. Every time he's transforming. It's maybe a little red in the eyes, and then they straight go to, like, his suit pants where his calves are, and they expand. They just pop.
Because clearly no one can have big calves without drugs. That's
exactly
what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
The next point Mark makes, very good point, is that Anthony Mackie was great. He did great.
Anthony Mackie was great. The character was just written poorly.
Well, and Mark makes a good point that Sam should have just taken the serum. There's literally no benefit.
And Sam even talks
There's
about
no benefit. And even in the movie, he's like, why didn't I take the serum? And they're like, well, Captain America doesn't need the serum. But then even as it gets farther and farther along, he's like, okay, there still was no benefit to me not taking the serum. I can still have values and take the serum. That's what Steve did. Why am I not taking the serum? This was a very dumb thing.
Yeah.
So that was the characters are good.
At least they acknowledge
the characters are good, and the leader as a concept for a villain is good. He can be better than Zemo because he can do science stuff that Zemo can't do. But so far, they didn't give anything in the movie that was science stuff that Zemo couldn't have done.
Yeah,
so he just is a worse Zemo, but he doesn't have to be. With a good writer, he doesn't have to be.
Okay. Let's go over some more nitpicks. The entire thing with Sam having that military friend and who was going to do the research on the gamma shit was so dumb. It wasted so much time. And not much, but it wasted time. It didn't need to be there.
Sam is a friend with gamma pill. He finds the gamma pills. He's like, friend, you were in the military. Figure out what these pills are. And then the leader just shows up at the last second. He goes, I have a button that kills you if I turn the button. I'm going to do it now. I'm just telling you so the audience knows.
Hold on. You're cutting ahead completely. So what happens is this guy in the military, it's like, cool, I'm going to send it to my buddy. He finds out it's gamma pills. He's like, oh, I need to go tell Sam. Somehow the leader shows up in front of him and is like, haha, I'm going to kill you now and make this a little lengthy. And the guy is just like, who are you? And the leader's like, me? I'm the hero, Brian.
That's crazy.
Literally just...
It is crazy.
So that didn't need to be in there at all.
No.
He could have just sent it to some lab and be like, hey, look at what this is. And that's it. And then when the guy reveals, oh, I killed the people looking into it, he could have just said that at the end. Like when he was talking to Sam in the hospital. It didn't need to be there. The other thing is, Sidewinder should have just been captured in the first act, right at the beginning, and interrogated, instead of having another fight sequence for like 10 minutes that also didn't need to be in there. Like, what was it? Any of the Sidewinder shit? He didn't need to be in this. Once again, he could have just been replaced by anyone. Also, why would you get the actor for Gus Fring to play a nobody character?
Yeah,
that's complete bullshit.
Pretty dumb.
Really bad.
Red Hulk. That's good. We don't need to.
We already went over the Mr. President, take the headset off.
Yeah, that was insane.
The man didn't understand that calc stood for calculator. And then out of nowhere, at the end, the leader's like, I want to kill Captain America.
Or he says, Mr. President, kill Captain America. What? Why? At what point was the president ever wanting to kill Captain America? Clearly he's working with Captain America, so they're trying to drive tension between President Ross and Captain America, but they never actually drive tension between them. They don't ever give a reason why they're in conflict. They literally starts with, hey, I want to work together with you. He goes, let me think about it. And then he's like, you put my friend in jail. And he's like, but they don't even give a reason why he has the friend in jail. Like, none of it even makes sense. Like, and they don't give Harrison Ford any good motivations for doing the stuff he's doing, or the leader any good motivation for trying to get the plot of he wants to ruin Harrison Ford's reputation is the problem with this movie, and we have suggestions on how to fix the movie, and the primary way to do that is to change that and to make it something way cooler that makes sense for a super genius.
Another spot that could have been cut out was the touching talk between him and Betty, with Ross and Betty, because that conversation was so dull. It was so scripted and talked.
No, it was good. It was good. That was one of the only good things in the movie. Yeah.
I don't know.
You're
okay. Then moving on.
You were upset
no,
by that point.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Another unrealistic point.
For no reason, the leader, after his apparently the leader's entire plan was, yes, I'm gonna get. And this is the problem with the movie. They make this the leader's motivation, which is stupid. And this is one change we're going to talk about. But they make the leader's motivation, oh, man, I'm upset that, President Ross has got me doing all this stuff locked in his basement, like Dr. Dre and that Eminem song. And so he's locked in the basement. He's like, I don't like this. I'm looking around. I don't like it, frankly. And he says, you know what I should do? I should get the U.S. and Japan to start a war.
No, but it wasn't even that.
Ruins Ross's reputation.
But it wasn't that.
They also need him to Hulk out. I thought that was his whole plan. That in the movie, that's what they say his plan is.
No, his whole plan was to just have him Hulk out. That was it.
No, but it's to ruin his legacy. And
it was
one
to
of the
ruin
things
his
was,
legacy.
oh, you're saying the Japan thing was to get him to Hulk out?
Yeah, it was just to stress him out.
So let's revise it. I'm in the basement. I don't like the fact that I'm not let out of the basement. I go, okay, what if I could give the president crazy pills? And then I just try and get him to go crazy and be like, haha, look, I made you go crazy. That was his entire plan. That was his entire plan.
And the leader is supposed to be what? Like a 300 IQ individual?
I know the probabilities. He literally says, I can see the future because I have probabilities.
So let's go.
Yeah.
A couple. Okay. Sam is getting shot at, and he has the shield. Yet, he has the shield up by his face and just the upper part of his abdomen. You have literally trained professionals who work directly for the president, not firing at his body or his legs or anything else. At this point, he isn't even wearing the suit. He's not wearing the freaking armor.
Like, nobody's got plot armor. The whole point is they're not going to have Captain America get killed by a goon halfway through his title movie.
Okay. Another point is when they're breaking into Echo 1 or something, there's a door, then an elevator to get through. Once they get through the elevator, the door closes somehow.
Yeah.
Just somehow.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it does.
He doesn't wear the armor for like half of the movie, especially when he should be.
Okay, this one's valid. Because the other ones, Mark, are just like, okay, clearly they're going to make the thing. They have a bad, poorly written scene of how they break in. But him never wearing the armor is genuinely stupid. When you're like, you're a superhero, the only thing you have is the armor. You don't have any powers. You need to wear the armor. It's like if Iron Man never put on his suit to go stop crime. You're like, no, you have to. Like when Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange 2, when he shows up and the big monster shows up, he goes, oh, time to hop out of my suit at this wedding and have the cape go on and suit up to fight. Yeah. Imagine if Doctor Strange was like, nah, dude, I'm just going to walk up in my slippers, just take care of some business. You're like, that is stupid. Why am I watching this movie?
Yeah. Moving on to one of my most annoying points is a lot of the lines in this film were written so poorly.
Yes.
They have to speak everything in a monotone and then announce what they're thinking. Like,
oh boy, I sure hope this isn't mind control.
It's... Oh my god.
Oh gosh, I really hope this isn't mind control.
The other thing was... What was another line? Another line? There was...
Ah boy, I sure am the hero of my own story.
You'll never get away with this.
Oh my god! No, it was really bad canned dialogue. And so apparently this movie was reshot like 18,000 times, and they cut out the entirety of the original script, which had to do a lot with the one lady who's his head of security being the Israeli superhero Sabra, who's the Israeli female Captain America pastiche. And so she literally, they're like, we have to cut out all this Middle East stuff because there's now like the Gaza thing became a whole big thing. And so everyone was like, okay, let's cut that out. But now, because you've cut all this stuff out, you have to add in all of these lines to be like, no, this is the new plot point of this scene.
It was exactly what happened with Winter Soldier, and they had to cut out all the disease stuff.
No, you mean Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
yeah.
not Captain America 2, the Winter Soldier. You mean
yeah.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV
Yeah.
show. Yeah, you need to stop cutting stuff out because of recent events and just let it happen. If your movie has someone attacking the Twin Towers and it's coming out a week after 9/11, that's different. But like outside of that, don't change your movie. It's because now it's a bad movie. Would you rather have it be a movie that's like maybe we release it a couple months later when this isn't as fresh, or a bad movie forever? Because 10 years from now, no one's going to be fresh when they go back and watch your movie.
Okay. Cool shit. The aerial fights were pretty sick.
Action was awesome.
The
Even the Red
action
Hulk
in
fight
this
at the
movie.
end. The action was awesome. The action was awesome.
Was phenomenal.
The sets, everything looked cool. The poster for the movie, you made a good point about that.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
The
all this
art
stuff.
and the visuals of the movie are really good.
Well executed. They also played Tame Impala during a fight, and that went well. It wasn't
I just don't like Tame Impala, so I was kind of like, eh.
Oh. No, but I was like, okay, that was a well executed, like, music drop of a popular song that wasn't forced and cringe. Like, if they didn't make it too
That's
loud.
true.
They were just like, no, it's cool that
It
this
wasn't
fits
very
with the vibe of the scene.
No.
It
A
worked.
lot of the music was picked well, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Look at the camera.
yeah, I know.
No, I know. So, but yeah, so you were saying the Peloton?
Yes.
I was in the restroom.
Oh. There was the Peloton ad placement. That was kind of funny. That was kind of funny. The Hulk fight was really good. It was really satisfying.
The Hulk fight was awesome.
But
it's the fight that's in the trailer. So here's what happened with the movie is, and we'll get back to this, but basically, I'm watching the movie, I'm like, oh, we finally got past all the stuff in the trailers once the Hulk fight ended. I'm like, oh, now we're about to get to the big third act crazy stuff they saved for the end of the movie. Now it's really about to get crazy, and we're about to like have the plot hit and figure out why the leader turned himself in. And then it just ended. You go, what? Wait, there's no movie. It's 2/3 of a movie, or half of a movie, or a third of a movie.
Yeah, the movie wasn't finished, like, at all.
Yeah.
So it was build up with what seemed like it didn't feel like a lot of action was happening.
No.
Even though the action sequences were great. The beginning action sequence, good.
No, it wasn't. No, because for no reason,
good.
Sam's like, let me go fight this guy when he clearly has a thing he can use to tase people. He should have just sent his drone in to tase Sidewinder, like, before he even walks into that room. They show up. There's two guys, and then there's hostages.
They have to,
and then the airplane goes behind him as he distracts him and zips him. He could have just done that.
They had to show he's struggling as Captain America without the serum.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
No,
that's the whole point.
But that's the whole point of Captain America is him being a badass. You want a badass hero.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to the age of having, like, Schwarzenegger characters or Sylvester Stallone just being the main shit? Like, the guy.
Yeah.
Now they have to humanize them. Like, seriously, that's not why I go to a movie. I want to walk into a movie, literally take in the main character's personality and live that.
Yeah.
If I go and see a Batman movie, I want to be Batman when I come out of the movie. That's what I want.
Yes.
Let's talk about how we would do things differently. So, Act 1 goes in, takes out Sidewinder, nice and simple. do the celebration, the assassination, quote unquote, attempt on. They should have taken out all the Isaiah stuff. Isaiah should have been gone.
That didn't need to be in the movie.
Isaiah didn't need to be in there.
And the conflict between Sam and President Ross didn't need to be in there either.
No, it didn't.
It didn't need to be in there either.
Maybe pop up once, only when he was talking about reforming the Avengers.
Yeah, keep that in. Yeah,
keep that.
But don't have Isaiah be a part of it.
Isaiah should have been cut.
Yeah.
The quote-unquote assassination attempt on President Ross.
Yeah.
Then it should have immediately gone, no waiting or anything, to the Camp Echo stuff. They show up there really quick.
Yeah. No Sidewinder second fight.
No Sidewinder second fight. No dilly-dallying. They show up there. Freaking, what is it? The leader shows up, talks about whatever plan he has. The same plan, the same exact plan. Doesn't, like, the point of the leader should be he's not playing all of his cards at once. That's the problem.
Yes, he's not going to say his entire plan.
He's not going to say his entire plan. He does the same exact plan.
He should be a little more cryptic. He should be more like the Riddler before he gets captured in the Batman.
If they made him the Riddler of the MCU, that would have been great.
That would have been great. And what they should have done too is there are photos of promo art from before they rewrote the movie where guess what his head does? His head just keeps going and it's green. It's instead of a weird deformed brain thing.
No, he has Jimmy Neutron head.
He has Jimmy Neutron head.
Neutron head.
Which is how he looks in the comics. But they did a comic accurate one on the promo art. And you see it looks way better. Yeah.
Okay. So
pop it up here.
Anyways, back on track.
Yeah.
But instead of them fighting people, which is what they do, it should have be them solving a puzzle to get out of the room they were caged in.
Oh, yeah. They
actually have to use their brain.
These people, it's not interesting in a world where you've got superpowered beings that do fights. It's not interesting to see normal guys fight each other. It's much more interesting to see the normal guys have to solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
To try and not get killed in a
death,
escape
have
room.
To use another tool.
If it was a Saw, and because here's the thing, if it's a Saw-like escape room, that fits with the leader valuing intelligence over strength and all of these things. And so he's like, if you're not intelligent enough to survive this, you don't deserve to live. Yeah. And it goes in this whole like complex, right?
Yeah. And he should be like trying to prove the point of, do you understand? Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, it's a whole Riddler thing. When you're dealing with an intellectual rather than a crazy, rather than a...
Yeah.
So you have evil, you have crazy, I think you have like brute force like Bane. Well, Bane in the modern adaptations, in the comics, he's intelligent and brute force, which is why he's scary. But,
well, you've developed that serum.
Well, I was going to say, you've got...
And George Clooney, was it Poison Ivy made it? I don't know.
Well, let me see. I think you've got three types of villains that kind of do things, and what's interesting with each of them. You have the crazy, which is like the Joker, just chaos, right? Mm-hmm. You've got the brute force, just wants to kill things or blow things up. And then you've got the ideological, or the intelligence. Thanos has an ideology. Doctor Doom has an ideology. The leader has an ideology. These are what makes them scary.
Thanos
right?
was...
Darkseid doesn't have an ideology. Darkseid just wants to kill everything because evil, for the sake of evil. And conquer, yes. And... Crazy Joker just wants to kill people and is just crazy, but Zemo.
Well, no, he just wants disorder and to prove that everyone is on edge.
He just has an emotional, just like I want to cause chaos.
The thing I liked about Thanos, and this is a complete sidetrack, I'll probably throw this in somewhere, is he's like you said with the Bane. He's intelligent. He has an ideology. But he's also strong. He's stronger than the Hulk.
But Thanos would still be formidable even if he wasn't strong.
No, you're right.
That's my point. Is like you fundamentally have the intelligence, and so what needs to happen with these characters is like a brute needs to challenge the character on a physical level, and they need to overcome that by some physical strength and intelligence. When it comes to a crazy person, they need to outsmart the crazy person, right? But when it comes to the person who has an ideology, they need to the audience needs to go, do I agree with them or not disagree with them?
Okay.
Kind of like in Squid Game, Season 2. So similar thing here. Should we reject the leader's philosophy of intelligence trumping everything because he says, look what happens. Intelligence can get someone stupid as Ross into the office, but he can be easily manipulated by his emotions. So do you let your emotions control you or intelligence control you? That can be the dilemma of the leader in this movie. That could be something like that. The challenge is Captain America, who can't compete on raw physical strength. So maybe saying, what is the value of strength versus intelligence? What really is survival of the fittest in an increasingly intelligent world? I can just manipulate everything through, USAID and all these things, right? So that becomes a fascinating kind of thing as an audience.
So let's get back on track. I'll probably include that note for myself. Probably include that in a different spot. I want to keep everything succinct.
Yeah, well, you're gonna edit it.
I'll edit this together. So where were we? We were
talking about Act 1, what happened, and what should have happened differently. So
so they're in the saw. So they do the saw puzzle. They get out.
Yep.
They
Sabra shows up to help them. Whatever.
Yeah,
right?
On the outside.
Yeah.
But he's kind of cheating. Oh, and the leader talks later and he's like, you cheated.
You
cheated the puzzle.
Yeah. So Sabra helps break them out, and the leader gets super upset about that later because he's like,
You cheated.
You're not supposed to cheat the puzzle.
You don't cheat. What happened to being a man of honor?
Yeah. Oh, Captain America, not so big, right? Yeah. That's crazy. That's good. Yeah. That's just good writing. You're good at this.
Oh, and then he instead of egging only Ross on, he should egg on
Captain
Sam.
America. He's the main character of the movie. The plot should be, I'm using these stupid people as tools to fight my thing, and Captain America, if you can't be on my level, then maybe you're just a tool like Ross for me to manipulate. He should be messing with Captain America the whole time. He should be in
because
his
if the greatest thing is to manipulate, because he talks about this at the end, the leader, is he wants to create stronger people.
Yes, so basically
he wants to create more heroes.
So we're going to get to the main rewrite. The tease is, and what everyone says in the leaks is, the reason this movie gets us closer to Doomsday and Secret Wars and eventually the soft reboot of the MCU where they put the X-Men and all these different things and say, no, this was always the timeline, and maybe, Doctor Strange or Doctor Doom remember what it was like before Secret Wars, the OG timeline. But everyone else, it's just going to be like, no, this is the MCU all along. That's kind of what they're going to do after Secret Wars if you look at the comics and you look at the rumors and everything the Russos have said and everyone else, Kevin Feige, these people. And so we know we're heading to that, but we also know that the multiverse is collapsing. It's the multiverse saga.
Anyways.
And so the rumor is with the leader, his actual intention is to juice up and to try and create as many Hulks as possible. This is why you see the plot of She-Hulk. This is why in the Thunderbolts they're trying to do super soldier stuff to make even more heroes, but it goes rogue. So they assemble the Thunderbolts to go get him. That's the plot of the Thunderbolts. So likewise, the leader, his plot is supposed to be in this movie that he's trying to juice up all these people so that when Doomsday, when Doctor Doom and Kang and whoever shows up to try and take over Earth and destroy this universe, we've got big people to defend. We've got tons of Hulks to destroy them.
Yeah. So here's the next thing is that's Act 1.
Yeah.
Act 1, pretty simple. Act 2.
Well, then you go to Japan for Act 2?
What?
So does Act 1, do they go to the ocean at the end of Act 1?
No, that's Act 2 still.
Oh, okay, got it. So now Act 2.
So Act 2 is basically the rest of the movie.
Yep,
Act
exactly.
2 is the rest of the movie with some more stuff. So instead of all the smaller talk in between, anything with the ex-Black Widow chick or the Israeli...
Sabra, whatever.
Sabra.
Yeah.
That's cut out. That should be gone completely.
Well, yeah.
She should just be known as ex-Captain America or ex-Black Widow.
Honestly, if they just say, if they call her Blue Widow, literally something they could just do. No, but I'm just saying, give her a name, and you don't have to attach it to Israel.
That was something I didn't see. Is she had
give her a Black Widow-like scene.
This is something I saw, and maybe I'll throw an image of it.
Yeah, let's see.
Is she had on a unique set of armor underneath her clothes.
Yeah, because she was originally...
Yeah.
They're going to call her Sabra. If you don't want to call her Sabra, make her, whatever, Red Widow. Literally.
Yeah, I saw the armor and I was like, that's Wakanda armor. How the fuck are you not going to talk about that?
What they should have done is they should set this up. Here's the reason why this is good, is they can introduce... Because the whole thing Black Widow, if no one saw the movie, was all of the Black Widows come from a place called the Red Room, and then it was an evil organization, and then all the Black Widows rebelled and left. But you've got the Earth is scattered with all of these different widows. And so Yelena is Black Widow's sister, and she's one of the widows, and you're seeing her pop up. And so if you find out that, oh, Ross has a widow on his side, and he's had the leader in his basement doing stuff, and then she goes, I'm going to leave Ross at the end of this movie, you've got another widow character going around, and so it's really fleshing out this universe that really feels like this stuff happened. Yeah.
I don't think she should have been in it at all.
Okay, I think
Now,
it doesn't
so-
affect it, but I think
I don't
you could.
think it
I think
doesn't
there's a way.
affect it.
I think there's a way you could have had her just join Sam
Anyways.
on her team.
Act 2 again.
Yeah.
We keep sidetracking. Anyways, they do the whole arc of they go to frickin'
Indian
the
Ocean,
coast,
Celestial Island,
Celestial Island, the whole
Tiamat. Can we just call it Tiamat? That was the name of the Celestial. To
Yeah.
say Tiamat, it's one word. It's
Tiamat
easier.
Island.
They go to Tiamat. Yeah.
They do the whole plane sequence.
Yep. Whole
That
fight
happens.
scene. Ross gets
And then-
cyberbullied still. Or do we want to fix that?
Yeah, just a little
No,
bit.
he's bullying Captain America, saying
No,
your friend's
both
gonna
at the
die
same
because he's
time.
stupid. Captain America, you've got to choose. And yeah, it's like a solid puzzle. He's like, do you save your friend or do you save the ship? If the leader's talking to Captain America's ear instead, that makes the scene way more tense. And so he goes like, no, I chose the wrong thing and my friend died, but I saved the world. That's way more interesting than him cyberbullying
Oh
President
yeah,
Ross.
his friend. Yeah,
Are you kidding
the
me?
Falcon guy should have died.
Oh,
That would have been it.
Oh, what if the leader is like, you save your friend, you do the thing, and if we find out that the leader, when they were in the room, when they were investigating stuff, the leader planted a thing inside his friend, and so he does a thing that kills his friend.
No.
No, but I'm saying what
No.
I'm saying is
No.
Sam during that flight. No, and you're going to agree with this. You can change the specifics, but the idea is fire. Is that they're in the fight, and then the leader's in Sam's ear, and is like, "Do you stop the ship in the World War, or do you save your friend?" And then his friend dies. His friend does not make it out of surgery, and he dies instead.
No.
Because first off, we don't need another character, and the only reason this
Hold
character
on. Let
here
me
is-
speak.
Okay, sure.
Let me speak. You're speaking to me.
Go. No,
No.
you can edit it.
I know.
Speak.
His friend should have died from the wounds. I think him planting is too far
We
fetched.
don't need to do that. I said we
Okay.
don't need to do that.
Okay. He dies from the wounds. He has more doubts about Captain America and all of that. And then the whole Ross thing
Mhm.
happens. Leader doesn't turn himself
Yep.
in. Doesn't turn himself in at all. The treaty is now somewhat getting back on track still.
Okay. wait,
Then
yeah.
the Ross shit happens. There's the entire fight.
Yeah.
That gets done. And then, what is it? After that,
Ross goes
after
to the raft, right?
he
And
goes to
says-
the raft, and
Yeah.
then he talks to Sam, and he's like, "You should get the Avengers together.
You need to get the Avengers
You
back.
need to get the Avengers back."
Yep.
And he's like, "You're right. Don't do it with the government because
Yep.
Ross saw, okay, there's too many problems with the government. It can be manipulated."
Yeah, people can get in there and try and do
Yeah,
things.
he's like, "You guys were right. I was wrong about Civil War."
Yeah. Yeah,
And then-
that's a full character arc for him.
Yeah, that
Well,
is a
shocker.
full character arc.
Yeah.
And so then, the end of it is him going to talk literally with
Yep.
Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel,
Hulk,
Hulk, and Shuri,
and Pepper to get the
and
money for.
Pepper to get the funding for the
But
Avengers.
you have your Nick Fury assembling the Avengers scene
Yeah.
again with Sam Wilson.
Yeah. And then Sam now steps up to the plate of being Captain America and being the leader.
Of the Avengers, which
Yeah.
actually makes him Captain America. Even though
Yeah.
he doesn't have the serum, now he actually feels like Captain America.
Because he put them together.
He brought the team together. He did the thing. He put his morals. He was able to lead the people. And the whole thing they played off of, and they even did this in What If, is that Sam originally is like a counselor for veterans who are dealing with PTSD and stuff. And so they used his counselor stuff with like Ross when he's talking to him and doing emotional counseling and stuff.
Yeah. So here's...
So that's his power is actually to
So-
bring people together.
Yes. So he now gets the Avengers to officially be together, and this is now Act 3. Is
Yeah.
they go to the summit to announce the Avengers are coming together. They're going to help facilitate the
Everyone
The
getting
treaty
a part. Yep,
of the
treaty.
adamantium, They're gonna do the treaty for all of that.
Yep.
And then leader comes in. The phones start going off. Major world leaders start freaking turning into Hulks.
The Japanese president, we've been seeing this whole time.
Japanese president.
He starts, and the lights go
The
down,
French,
and they start flashing like Blade. And
the
just like
France prime minister, what was
yep,
it?
the Indian prime minister, anyone.
Everyone.
Maybe you add an extra couple countries who were trying to get a piece of the island. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine Russia
So
would
that
try to get the
his
island.
entire
under-
plan
yeah.
was getting them all together with the aftermath
Yep.
of Red Hulk, the entire war, summons them all together. Just all the world leaders.
Yep.
And starts a Hulk war.
And they all become
right there.
big Hulks, and they all and now you've got the Avengers. You've got Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, Hulk, and Shuri, and depowered. What's his name? You know what I mean? All have to try and stop this whole thing with the Hulks. And so now you get an insane, crazy scene where you've got friggin' Blue Hulk from Japan. You've got all these different Hulks, and and you're having to like, oh my god, it's getting insane. So you get a Hulk versus Hulk fight with the Hulk. You know what I mean? Abomination gets busted out of prison at the last second. I like the idea that they bust the Abomination out.
I don't like it.
Okay, maybe they don't. But the whole idea is that you're like, oh my god, they gotta like fight all these Hulks, and you're like, oh, the leader had been giving the pills to everyone, and that's why they turned into the Hulks, and he was able to control them. Now it seems like, oh, the leader really was formidable, and his plan was to turn all these people into Hulks for when Secret War and Doomsday comes around, so that we don't get mollywopped by Doctor Doom and the Kangs.
But also flip the world on its head.
Yeah, it's a brave new world. New World Order was the original name for the movie. You're like, this is going to shift
This
the
is
power.
the New World Order.
Yeah, is the leader and his legion of Hulks. This is insane. He has all the heads of state are his control. And the Hulks, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so well, how do we deal with the mind control Hulks? What do we say?
I think it's only temporary. Do we want to say it's temporary?
Yeah, but somehow they fight the Hulks off. And since all of them are only exposed to the gamma pills for a short period of time, the effects aren't permanent. But Ross, who's been taking the pills for years at this point, he just has gamma in his blood now. Yeah.
It also flipped. So when the prime ministers and the presidents are back to normal, they're like, okay, we need to fucking work together.
Yeah, we need to work together, and we need the Avengers to be here to make sure that nothing goes wrong, and that supervillains can't. Because supervillains are real, and they will try and take over the world. We need superheroes to be here. We need them to know that you can't.
So then
do it superheroes are here.
They have the entire world being like, we need the Avengers now.
And and we announced the new Avengers are here. Now you may be thinking, isn't this just one of the plot of the first two X-Men movies? Yes. Magneto was like, I'm going to turn the world leaders into mutants so they stop trying to
It's
ban
literally
mutants.
the same thing, but
it was
works.
a good plot. It
works.
Plot. It was a good plot. Do it again.
It works.
So
Do it again.
Let's see. And then, so how does this end? We said the next scene is then, what's the aftermath? After that is Banner and Falcon start, and all the Avengers are there gathered in a room, and they're looking things at the same, like the end of Shang-Chi, where they're like, where are these rings going? And you saw Hulk and Captain Marvel and everyone talking. Here you've got the whole new Avengers cast together, and they're like,
and they're
okay,
talking about
what's happening? What's up with this multiverse thing? Because if everyone who's smart, like Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange and Mr. Fantastic in the comics and Black Panther in the comics, all figured out that the multiverse exists and it's collapsing, Banner should have figured out, especially with Wong, who knows that Steven went and did all this stuff with Kamar-Taj and that Wanda was dreamwalking. They know the multiverse stuff is happening, so they go, okay, what's happening here? And they're interrogating the leader who potentially they caught now, right? And so they're like, what's happening? He's like, there's stuff coming. I'm juicing these people up. We need to be prepared for the multiversal threat.
But it's not going to be like exactly what he did. Well, hold on. Are you saying they caught the leader?
Actually, maybe they didn't catch the leader.
No, they didn't. The leader would be too smart not to get caught.
Basically, they discussed the multiverse is happening, the multiverse is coming. Maybe the leader at some point says, hey, we need superheroes.
He definitely mentions
it. So the leader says, we need this, and this is why
I'm
doing it.
This is the end. The leader discusses and says to them, we're on the same side.
Yeah, we need to be protected for the next time something much bigger than Thanos comes up. And there's something, it's the multiverse.
He's like, it's
collapsing.
He's like, Sam, I hope to have tested you.
Yes.
To see if you were ready.
And now we need to suit up. We need to juice up. And they go, wait. And then And then he goes and talks to the Hulk. He's like, Hulk, this is happening. He's like, I know, we've been looking at the multiverse. He's like, it's collapsing.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man
And like,
talks about Kang.
and Ant-Man talks about Kang, and they all go, uh-oh, something's coming. And then you get the scene. The ultimate scene. Ultimate plot twist scene.
I want this.
End credit.
This is the end credit scene. That would be so fucking wild.
It would fix this movie. So good.
Do you want to... Let's see. How do we want to talk about it?
We got it.
How do we want to talk about it? We cut to an underground layer.
An underground layer, and it's like, oh, this is a very ornate and very advanced technology thing. Oh, no. What they say is, after the whole thing happens, before this leader scene, when they're saying the Avengers are good, there's a quick news blurb going that most of the adamantium from the island was stolen during the battle of the Hulks. During the Crazy Hulk battle, someone stole most of the adamantium, but the rest of the countries are still dividing up the whatever 10% that was there. Or just that there's a lot less adamantium on the island than we thought there was, but the world leaders are still splitting it up.
Well, no, they're saying most of the adamantium they're retrieving is on the surface, closer to the surface. It seems like a lot of it that was underwater was already extracted.
Yes. The underwater adamantium, 90% of what was proposed to be there is gone.
Maybe less.
No, but I want it to be like a big amount.
Yeah, so it'll be a big amount. Like
so
60%, 70%.
But the news seems to not be freaking out about it. No one seems to be freaking out about it. They're like, oh, I guess we overestimated how much there was.
Yeah. So
now
it cuts down to the ornate kind of high technology bunker. And the leader is there.
Yep.
And he's
maybe they're just on FaceTime. Like
no, he's there in person.
Oh, shoot.
This is them all in person.
And this is a reveal of something we got teased in Multiverse of Madness 838, but we have a 616 version.
So who shows up first with the leader is Sharon Carter.
Yep.
Discussing to him about creating more super soldiers.
Yep.
And the serums and the Hulk stuff.
Yep.
And she's talking about, I could integrate with the super soldier serum, the gamma stuff.
Yep.
Can create even more powerful.
Yep.
Superhumans.
Yep.
And then they said, but this is the beginning step, what we're doing here.
Yep.
And all of that. Then in walks Shiri.
Yep.
In walks Shiri and Namor.
Yep.
Together, talking about how they got the adamantium.
Well, everyone was distracted.
Everyone is distracted. They wanted the adamantium because what happened now?
Yep.
Adamantium was discovered. Vibranium is now
worthless.
The second. No, not worthless.
No, but I mean,
but the second most powerful material.
Yep.
And that Earth
leverage.
knows of. So now they've lost their competitive advantage.
Yep.
Their leverage on the rest of the world and their monopoly on power and technology. They needed to get that back because now they were facing a larger threat from the rest of the world.
Yep.
So they've worked together with the leader and Sharon Carter to come together to build not just the greatest technology for defense, but also the greatest beings.
To build the strongest superhumans they can.
Yes.
So that they can defend against the multiverse. And so this is our version of the Illuminati. In the comics, the Illuminati in 616 was, I believe it was Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Namor, Black Panther, and they all realized the multiverse is collapsing and we got to do some messed up stuff and send Hulk off the planet and do all this stuff. And we got to do relatively evil stuff that the heroes aren't going to like because we got to do the hard calls at the end of the day. And so this is that exact group in this version. And so you've already realizing, wait, this MCU is going way off the rails from what it's like in the comics. And so you're seeing, so we get the leader teaming up with Namor and Sharon Carter and Shuri. And so Shuri and Atlantis now both have the dominance of this new metal again. So they're back to where they are.
And right now, they learned that they are in the deepest part of Wakanda right now.
Yep.
They're in the deepest part of Wakanda in this inhumane laboratory.
They're doing messed up stuff. But they're like, it's the whole universe is going to die if we don't figure this out. The whole universe is going to die, literally. Because that's literally the stakes. The multiverse will die. We need to stop this.
So, What's going to happen now?
At all costs. They say something like "at all costs." They've got some weird creed they all say. At all costs. At all
No,
costs.
not together. Not like
No,
that.
I don't mean
That's
all
too-
together, but I'm just saying they've got some. They clearly are possessed by the means justify the end.
Yeah,
The ends
easily.
justify the means. Type of. They've got some weird like thing. Where,
Yeah.
okay, there's an undertone.
Yeah. And now the kicker is they have successfully.
They've
Well,
got,
not successfully.
let's say they go and they go say, "How is the weapon?" They go.
No, how is
They just-
not weapon? But
No, I like the idea that they go, "How is the weapon coming along?" Like, we've tested from the gene sequences, all the first 9 have died in incubation. Weapon X seems to be doing good, and they go, and then you see there's a tube laying on the ground, and you just see out. You just see Wolverine claws pop out of the tube, then water bursts, and you go, and that's the end credit. And they say, the Illuminati will return. You
oh,
go,
that would be good. The Illuminati would return.
and so this could set up. You could have like M'Baku or someone, or like Killmonger gets resurrected with adamantium and Wolverine claws. Like you could go totally crazy and be like, holy cow, okay, we realize
think-
616 is not the right timeline. Kang messed up the sacred timeline to make himself be the He Who Remains, because the Wolverine here is a different person, and it's created differently.
I think if
and
you had-
everything's going weird, and that kind of puts in the audience like, wait a minute, this is not, even
Yeah.
if they do get Logan, you're like, this isn't how this is supposed to happen. Like, what's happening here?
No, I think Killmonger Wolverine would be pretty sick.
I like the idea.
think Killmonger Wolverine.
I like the
would
idea that
be
you have
really
Wakandan Wolverine, and just once Doomsday happens, Wakandan Wolverine shows up, and you're like, okay, what's happening? And even Doctor Doom's like, that's not right. I
That's
told
wrong.
you. He's like, let me show you a photo. He's like, look, in every other universe, it's Logan, and it happens in Canada. And he's like, this is not what's supposed to happen. You guys are a false universe. Kang made a fake thing. I need to save the universe. I'm from the original 616 before the multiversal war. I am Doom. I am inevitable. I must fix it. I must save the universe. Like, it sets all of this stuff up. But then you've got freaking all of these Hulks. And so, like, dude, how crazy is it? The reveal that Shuri was working with the leader. They go, what? You killed my fake Falcon. You killed military best friend. Sam's upset. Everyone's upset. Like, you know how many people died in the White House? And they go, we needed to stop this. We need to make sure that we are the universe that lives. And Doctor Doom agrees with them. He's like, yes, the
What?
multiverse is going to collapse.
I
616
don't even
needs-
know where you're
No,
going
I'm saying
to.
once Secret Wars, once they go to Doomsday. So Doomsday, Doctor Doom shows up and says, hey, I need to remake 616 how it was supposed to be. I need to condense the multiverse into one universe to save the universe. Because multiverse is going to collapse. I need to salvage what I can. That's basically the plot. I need to make Battle World and salvage what I can. And he's like, if only one universe is going to live, it needs to be this one. Because that's the idea with the Game of Worlds and the whole thing they're adapting from the comics, is that the universe is collapsing, and at the end, only one will remain. And so if we're going to be the one that remains, we need to have the most jacked up people. We need to have the craziest stuff. We need to work together and build this and take all the best people from across the multiverse. And we need to have these super universe. I lost you. Anyways.
Yeah, you
it's
lost me. You started rambling. You started yapping. We're talking about the movie, not.
No, I know, but it needs to set up the next movies in a
it
way
does.
that's cool. So that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm
I
agreeing.
definitely think you're skipping parts, going straight from this to Doomsday.
Well, no, how many movies are there? There's Fantastic Four, which doesn't happen in 616, and then there's like one other movie.
What? And then Doomsday? Is
Yeah,
that really?
yeah. Let's pull it up. Marvel movies upcoming. Yeah, so there's Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and then Doomsday. Yeah, maybe Blade, but Blade keeps getting pushed back, and it's probably going to happen after or on Battle World. So yeah, it's literally going to be Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, then Doomsday. It's the next movie, basically, outside of Thunderbolts.
Huh, I guess you're right.
And in Thunderbolts, the
I
plot
swear
is
there
that
was more in there.
the plot is that Val was juicing up and trying to make their own Superman, but he has multiple personalities, and so he goes rogue, and so she needs to get the rejects to come and try and subdue him, so he doesn't kill the whole world.
Yeah.
And so if you want to, you can make it that Val's a part of the Illuminati. Mark doesn't like Val, but I think
I
it
think
does fit.
Val is. I don't like her character. I think it's dumb.
Okay, but they are doubling down on her. She is the one who bought Avengers Tower. Like, it does make sense that she's trying to.
Did she?
Yeah, they're going to show that in Thunderbolts. It's pretty obvious, though. They literally have a scene where she's assembled them, and she's like, oh, you like what I've done with the place? At the top floor of Avengers Tower, where the Avengers originally hang out in the first Avengers movie.
Oh.
Like, it's pretty clear that she's the one who bought it. And so it does make sense. But I was going to say, imagine if Brave New World and Thunderbolts are both about juicing up the people, and the Fast Fantastic Four sets up that Doom is coming to 616 to reclaim his universe that he's originally from before the first multiversal war and to set everything right again. That sets it up perfect. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Let's get back to, like, let's just review. How does this change affect the movie? So now the leader has motivation, he's not a stupid guy, and he's trying to teach the importance of intelligence and strategy, and also, we need to juice these people up. It gets Namor and Shuri what they want, and it goes like, oh, okay, we get this idea from the comics, the Black Panther cares about himself. He cares about Wakanda, he has a duty to his people. He does not have a duty to the world, to the globe. He's not a globalist in that sense. He really is a nationalist. He cares about his nation and his people. And that is totally reinforced by them secluding themselves from the rest of Earth and caring about their nation overall, right? They care about their nation more than they care about the rest of the world. They care about, not carry about. But they care about their nation more than they care about the rest of the world. That is a value of the Black Panther that we have seen. And there is that kind of idea that, like, we need to protect ourselves because Val and the CIA, they're going to come after us. So I do think it does work that Val isn't a part of the coalition because Shuri and Val are fighting, right, in Black Panther 2. But I do think the idea that you've got the Illuminati and you've got these characters on the team, I think that's a very fascinating...
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm probably going to be cutting most of that out.
Yeah, no, what do you think? What do you want to say? What's next? I think we want to wrap up and review how does this change the movie? How does this fix all the problems we said? Yeah. So I guess we can recap quickly. What is our proposed after the second act happens?
I think we went over it. Like, do we?
Okay, yeah.
Do we really need the recap?
No, we don't need to. But I think if you give a quick recap so people can remember what is this new version.
Then, TLDR. Leader has an actual motive now.
Yep.
The focus isn't on Ross, but I understand why they did it because Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford.
But he can still be in the movie.
Captain America is Captain America. He's just not Sam Wilson. He's Captain America. He becomes a leader.
Yep.
The leader. No.
The Avengers are assembled.
The Avengers are assembled.
Yep.
The Avengers are assembled. And now we've set up the extended universe even further and set it up for Doomsday.
We've introduced the Illuminati and the main threat, and we've introduced a freaking Wolverine.
Yes. The Illuminati has been introduced, and now we have a Wolverine.
Yep. And we have a big third act fight. We have a big third act fight, and the heroes show up. The coolest hero that showed up in the original movie was Bucky shows up for 5 seconds. This fixes that.
Okay. The third act actually exists.
Yep.
It's not just 1 and 2 acts.
And it's bigger than anything else in the first 2 acts, which is how a third act should be.
Exactly. Okay. That pretty much sums it up.
That fixed it.
Yep.
So overall, do you think the movie, how would you rate the movie as it stands, and how would you rate the new version we proposed?
I think it's a 5 out of 10.
The original, you think it's a 5 out of 10?
Yeah. Yeah, Brave New World, by itself right now, 5 out of 10.
Okay. I think the movie's 6 out of 10. I think it's a 6 out of 10 because there is no third act. It's a movie that's missing 40 to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not a full movie.
Agree. And there was too much filler. There was just way too much.
Now, what do you think? How do you rate the new version that we proposed?
Our new version, 9 out of 10. Goated.
I'm going like 10.
It might be an 8 or a 9.
Mark, we've got Wolverine tees. We've got tons of Hulks fighting at the end. They stole the adamantium. We have the Illuminati with the leader working with Shuri. We have that plot twist in the end credit scene.
Yeah.
And we have them saying we need to assemble the Avengers to fight off the Kangs and all the multiversal threats.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'd
That
give
is
it
a 10 out of 10
still.
movie. Okay, maybe
I
9.
think you could go crazier.
I do think you could go crazier, but I think this truly does make you go, that's better than Civil War. That's close to Civil War.
Is.
Even and because the problem is you don't have the characters that were built up over these individual movies.
How are
and
you
since
gonna?
you don't, you gotta
have
do
a
a big
Captain
collab.
America movie where you have Captain America versus Iron Man.
How
are
are
you
you gonna
beat
top that? You need to go bigger.
Yeah.
And we're in the multiversal saga, and so all of this stuff can get soft rebooted at the end of Secret Wars. So if the problem is you need to go bigger, you can go bigger because you actually don't have to deal with the consequences of a lot of the stuff you're saying for the next 30 years, the next 30 movies. You only have to deal with the consequences for one more movie, which is the Thunderbolts, which is about the exact same plot.
Okay. All right. I think that's a good place to stop. I think we covered as much as we should. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for sometimes more rants about this, sometimes anything else.
Gaming
I play
videos.
Games. I play games. I rant about shit. I stream sometimes. I need to really get a schedule going.
Yeah, you'll get
it's
one.
Kind of rough right now, but it'll work out. It'll work out.
I believe it.
All right.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, and if you're watching on my channel, you know what's happening, rock and roll, baby. And yeah.
I mean, if it's showing up on your channel, I am Red Thunder 108. I do all the
This is my brother.
stuff.
I gave birth to him.
Yep. We battled in Battle World, aka our mother's womb.
Those were the secret wars.
Yes. People on my channel, this is Connor O'Farrell, Rockstar King. Go check him out. Buff guy.
There you go.
Strong guy.
Ah! Ah! There you go.
Okay. That's all they get. Anyways, see you guys in the next video.
Peace.